because they don't want you camping anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, the thing is though that we're so small. We're such. I mean, I think that's part of the reason we're having trouble getting any real sort of traction. There's only so many of us really.
But truthfully, one of the things is you're not. It's true. You're the only pedicabs here, but other groups will want to do it. Somebody else. It won't stop.
Well, we're not talking about changing that regulation. I mean,
we want to keep it at 15 cabs.
Yeah, the limit in the city is 15. Like,
and we're already
no more permits than that, and it's locked up. And I feel like that's a good number. Aside from a few times a year, when there's just crazy people, like Fiesta comes to mind, some of the larger events at the Alamo come to mind, but like the rest of the time during the year, like there's really not a need for more bikes than that.
Is there a proposed extension to the time period? I know it's midnight now.
Yeah.
What's the proposal?
Currently, it would be
It's 2 o'clock.
well, we would be able to operate from 8 a.m. through 4 p.m. We'd have to be off of the streets,
Right.
all streets,
Right.
between 4 and 6, and then we'd be able to work from 6 to 3 a.m.
That would be
It might be 2.
ideal.
It might be 2. It's 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know. I think part of the reason I'm thinking now too. They got you off before 12 because after 12, guess who's coming out of the bars? It's just coming out of the bars.
I mean, those people they want to take a pedicab.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have cars. A lot of them are going back to
And
the
Yeah, but a lot of them,
It's short trip. A lot of it is.
Yeah, there's some good and bad to that. The good is, maybe you can get some of those people who need help getting home. Yeah,
Mhm.
And it's
but by the
touristic.
same token, there's people who aren't. They're going to get in the car.
Yeah.
They might not. Maybe you should not be driving.
Yeah. Well, again,
You're going to be out there with them.
Yeah, again,
we
that's
could work some
something
sort
that
of thing where if they get on and we know that they're drunk, we'll just take them here instead of to
No,
their.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the drivers or
Yeah.
the ones that are getting in cars. That's
Again, that's something where, of course, if we're like that late
I
at
mean,
night,
another
I doubt
proposed
any of us
change
would be on any
is
of the streets.
the required accident liability insurance. Right now, it's at $500,000, and it's up to $1 million right now, and we carry $2 million.
Our
anyway.
current policy is for $2 million.
right.
I mean, because it just seems like if pedicabs were to continue growing, and this is just hypothetical, right? Like 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line, if the city were to really change the way it's doing business and like less dependence on cars if gas becomes too expensive and like you start to see more bikes and more small vehicles and stuff. I mean, at some point,
Maybe in the future.
you know what I mean?
We don't know.
But just like long term like that, I think that at some point that the risk, like you're just like the company operating just has to assume that risk. Like that's at some point, like just from a business standpoint, like that becomes the company's responsibility. You can't reasonably expect the city to really take responsibility for that. I mean, I understand the motivation behind it because the tourism is really important to a lot of people in the city. I mean, us included, And I mean, it wouldn't take but one time for something bad to happen on a pedicab to just this whole deck of cards is trash.
And you're right. Yeah, it could.
And so we don't want that to happen. But at the same time, it's about moving forward as an industry and like what do we need to do that. And I mean. I think that operating after midnight is one of those things.
I think we would really benefit from. I could live with everything else, with all the restrictions there are right now, but I think I personally would really benefit from.
I know. I shot an email to my sergeants asking them, because I guess we're going to have some representation, I guess, in future meetings. I think there's going to be. I guess they're going to revisit. I guess that ordinance. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
That's my understanding as well.
Right. It's going to be revisited, and we're going to have some input. I'm going to try and get one of my evening sergeants or a sergeant or an officer who works in evenings to get involved in that. So, I appreciate you coming to talk to me and letting me hear your concerns. But
sure.
But it's it's not going to change too much of how we see things. We understand. I understand your focus and which your intent to grow, of course, but it doesn't negate the fact that there are still concerns.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Thanks for taking the time
Thank you for coming by.
to
I'll
talk to us.
I'll let my evening crew know that y'all came by and came by and talked and had a nice little conversation and show them your side.
Yeah.
Because there's I'm glad you came by because it's important that we do hear y'all.
And I mean, I will admit that there have been some issues. I mean, with just the guys who are out there kind of doing what they're supposed to do anyway. And I mean, I can't offer any real excuses for that. I mean, it's something that within the industry we're trying to.
You know what?
We're trying to.
Cab drivers, bus drivers.
I mean,
it
that's
happens.
it.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
happens,
You know,
you know.
like any industry you look at, especially transportation, is there's going to be violations like that. I mean, it's something that we want to be to a better standard, though. I mean, we don't want to, because I mean, it's enough. There's enough things against us as it is. Like, we don't need that against us too. So I mean, it's something we're striving to sort of solve that issue. But unfortunately, even though like we're not entirely capable of making like everybody play ball, you know,
Yeah.
like we're
I
doing
know.
what we can with
Yeah.
our side, and we're trying to do it,
It's
but
every organization.
Yeah, you're not unique. Everybody,
Police,
police and people.
politicians, priests.
so
You
It's more
know.
than one.
Yeah.
yeah, there is more
How
than
many
one company.
companies are there?
There's two.
There are two, okay.
There's
Yeah,
two.
there are
yeah.
two. The
Are they
biggest,
heavily involved with I guess the city ordinance division also, or?
it's mainly River City Petty Caps.
Yeah, it's mainly
That's your
us.
group,
He's,
Yes.
the other guy's been involved a little bit.
We're Rivers.
We're
We're
the
River
ones
City.
with the candy
Riverside,
stripes on the
yeah.
side.
Okay, that's how you
The big distinguishing factor is that we do have the reflective tape on all of our bikes, whereas the other side does not have a reflective tape.
Riverside.
Yes, Riverside doesn't, and then River City, you will always see our bikes with the,
Y'all are River City.
yeah, we have it on the back, the sides.
Sort of convoluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little-
We're thinking about a name change.
I didn't even realize there were.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
I